From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page. Now it's off to the show. Take it away, nerds.
Alrighty, everyone, and welcome here tonight for Road to Indy round number 4, coming to our namesake racetrack, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And as always, up in the booth with me tonight, Mr. AJ Capola. Everybody give him a round of applause. Of course, AJ from the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. AJ, man, it's great to have you up here for some IndyCar racing here tonight, bud. Yeah, and I think you'll enjoy it, buddy. I really, really do. Now, I got a question for you. This is your first time, correct? Calling a IndyCar event, right? Or seeing one, rather. So what do you expect to see at the road course here at Indy for the first time? What do you think?
I love the Indy road course and a bunch of other games like Forza, Gran Turismo, and now in the NASCAR game on Xbox. And now I actually get to watch IndyCar on iRacing run it like how it's supposed to be. So I'm really excited, and giving you a heads up, you do not hear me on the YouTube broadcast.
You should now. That's what I was working on. For some reason, it was rejecting you. Huh? I wonder why. That's weird.
It's not a woman.
What did Susie do? Did she invade us or something?
I hope not, because she's dealing with her homework right now. So hopefully she's not taking some shots at me.
That being said, would you be surprised if she showed up and just said, "Yeah, no, we're not going to let you do anything"?
I mean, I hope not, because I do this for relaxation and to have fun with you, so hopefully she's kind enough to not bug me, even though she bugs me anyway.
Dude, she would totally do it. Who are we kidding?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm just, talking out of my ass right now.
Yeah, like, she would totally do that, just to have some fun with you. But with that being said, AJ, we're getting ready to see a great race, I feel like, all evening long. We'll bring y'all to the racetrack in a moment. We got you in kind of a holding pattern for just a moment, getting ready to bring you over, letting them wrap up qualifying. We'll talk about points. Now, last week was round number 3 at COTA. Unfortunately, had other things there. We didn't make the show happen, but we're back here this time around, and this time we again are at the Indy road course. Now, next week we'll come back to the oval, AJ. So what do you think? It's getting kind of late in the season already. Only 12 rounds. Not a lot of time for these guys to make up any points deficit.
No, you gotta be careful on how many you lose and how much. Well, you don't have to be careful on how much you gain, but you have to control your mistakes. It's easy to do in these Indy cars. We've seen how easy they are to spin out. You need to control how many mistakes you have. And some of the people on the cut line, as you're going to see when you pull up points and talk about points, you really need to be on your ball until the end of the season.
Yeah, right now it's Scott leading the way here in the points for these guys. Unfortunately, the points part of the overlay not working. That's what I was working on. But we can talk about it. Scott, he's in a pretty good spot, and but you can't overthink that. You can't say, "Oh, I'm good to go." You still got to come out here and perform each and every week, right?
Yep, 100%.
Now, as we get ready to go, there's Scott, Nick Beaver right there in second. Some new drivers out here this week as well. We'll get to see them perform, and also, and I'm looking forward to that also, to have new people out here talking as we circle around. 3 minutes of qualifying left, AJ. here in Indianapolis, and the first time I've called the road course here in Indianapolis. So right now, Scott, points leader, 1:13.130. Fastest time in practice, Nick Beaver right there. Seafreeze, Joey, Carson, Gavin right there, Mattis, Ken, and that Middleton there as well in the top 9. So 9 Indy cars here tonight, 40 laps, 13 turns is this road course. And AJ, you talked about it pre-race before we went on the air. 13 corners is going to be a tricky night for these guys.
I mean, the straightaways are the easiest part. Once you leave 12 and come all the way down, you cross the start-finish line, that's when you need to think about setting up turn 1. And I think that's going to be a very good passing zone. And your next passing zone, if anybody doesn't make a mistake, is probably going to be 8, turn 8. So pretty much, again, control your mistakes. Don't overshoot the turns. Don't wreck the car.
Well, what about the importance of turn 10, getting back up onto the oval portion and being able to carry that speed?
Well, turn 10 is the turn before getting back onto the oval.
Or, excuse me, turn 11, yes.
It's okay. You want to get a good hole shot because you're going to be full send until you hit your marks going into 1. So, it's a good time for a draft. It's a good time for to set up a pass for when you get down into 1. But it's very important to hit your marks, especially coming out of 11.
Yeah. And now, out of 11 too, now we do have 10 push to pass. AJ, do you know what push to pass is?
Yes, I do know what push to pass is, but you press a button that gives you more horsepower and you go vroom vroom.
You go vroom vroom, exactly. Well, what do you think? Out of 10, like you said, headed to 11, or out of 11 headed to 12, 13, you think that's going to be the push to pass spot?
I would say you would see a good portion of them right there, but I hope they don't waste them if they're not in distance, because I would use that push to pass along with a draft to just shoot right by people. That's what I would do, and I've never run an Indy car before, so.
hey, what you don't know can't hurt you, right?
Exactly, that's pretty much what I'm going for.
Right. Also, the 1-2 complex down here. In real life, I've watched a couple of the Indy GP races, and 1-2 complex was a problem in real life on the start. I expect to see the same thing here. So, are you ready for the Matt's nugget of the race?
Sure. Let's see your McNugget, Matt.
Well, all right. I don't think we should do that over too, but the Indy road course here was the home, if some remember, to the other open wheel series, namely F1, back in, I believe it was 2005, the disaster that was known as the Indy GP. Well, they couldn't get tires to hold up through the corners. Some of the tires
we're
were
talking
giving
about the Formula 1 race.
Yeah, this was the home to that whole debacle, where everybody came down pit road and nobody wanted to start the race because they were all scaredies. And why do I say all scaredies? Well, there's something coming up on your podcast, buddy. We're going in Nerds Taking Over October, and it is time to watch some scary movies. So coming up this Friday, you'll see them there. AJ, y'all are going to be watching Pet Cemetery, and I'm going to listen to this because I know you're a scaredy cat, and I know it's going to be great.
Big scaredy cat.
Yeah, you're scaredy. Now,
I don't want to give anything away because it's all pre-recorded. We're not doing it live. So this has already happened, the recording of it. I think it's one of our funniest episodes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would say so because you're scared.
Hey, enough with the shots already, pal.
Hey, I'm just doing it the same way Susie did it. I gotta take her side, because if I don't, then
so what you're saying is she's employed. She's employed you. Great.
Yeah, she is my back.
Well, again, thank you again for letting us be a part of your channel, but check us out. We're a podcast. We're a Nerds podcast, and every October we take over Halloween movies, and every Christmas we do Christmas movies. But right now, I'm kind of getting scared out of my freaking brains, because next week it's freaking The Shining. with Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson.
Oh, great. That just sounds like a bunch of freaking fun.
Here's
As you guys can
Johnny.
tell, I'm not a horror fan. You know.
No, this wasn't even my idea. This was my co-host's idea last year, and it was like, yeah, let's do this, not realizing, oh yeah, scary movies. Crap.
Well, what do you think we take a look here at the starting grid, getting ready to go? Scott up there on the pole again. Nick Beaver alongside there, 113.1. And look at them, nearly identical wrap times, both a 113.1. And close there on the front row. Row number 2, C3's 113.3. And it's going to be a 113.38 for Joey. Row number 3, Carson and Mr. Gavin Rochain there in 6th. Mr. McComey there in 7th, and Ken there in 8th. And rounding out the field, Mr. Middleton there in 9th. So there we go. There is your starting grid. Pace car is out on the racetrack. The iRacing truck. Thank you. Chevy Pace truck, getting them ready to go. Kind of weird to see a truck racing Indy cars, but hey. Speaking of trucks, what's coming up immediately following the Indy cars tonight, Budrow?
It is the trophy trucks, and I will let you go further into deal with that because you've seen them a hell of a lot more than I have.
And we will be at the Wild West Motorsports Park. Or Wild Horse, excuse me, not Wild Horse West. There's literally 2 tracks, basically the same. Anyway, we're at the longer of the 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. We seen them at Crandon last week. We go in to another dirty dirt track tonight. AJ will get to hoop and holler a little bit.
Dirty dirt.
Dirty dirt. What? What? There's something wrong with dirty dirt?
No, it just sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? That's going to be coming up immediately following the Road to IndyCar League, and I am ready to go here for this round of this one again. Round number 4 from the Indianapolis Road Course. Next week we'll be at the Oval. There's 40 laps scheduled here tonight. Estimated race time 48 minutes. So as everything holds out, we will get the whole 40 laps in an hour. So that'll be good, right?
Yeah, we're hoping.
We're hoping. Everything's going to go perfect.
And they're rolling.
And we're rolling. So now we get to talk about it, working our way through this race course here for a lap behind the iRacing pace truck. Takes them a bit to get this thing going. We got to do a whole pace lap.
Yeah, so we still got like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So we can talk about AJ, scaredy some more. We can talk about, all kinds of things.
Well, I was just going to break down on the racetrack as we're watching them go through it, on how right there the inside line is key.
Yes.
But just because you might have somebody on your outside, they now have the priority in 2.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing with road course. The way it goes back and forth, right? Like you're talking, like there is no really preferred groove, in my opinion.
No, your preferred groove is you by yourself in front of everybody.
Now, unfortunately, I don't think we've got many wide shots here, not camera-wise. That's the bad part about doing road stuff. It's kind of hard to get a...
I got it set up on TV3, and it seems pretty good.
TV3. I'm on the blimp right now. Now, this was straightaway here that we're on right here, AJ. I think this is going to be another one of those passing areas.
Oh, yeah. Coming right down to 8.
Headed to 8 here. Don't you love how AJ does his homework and I'll get lost on my numbers and he won't?
Why you have me here?
Exactly. Why you here? And
I'm used to doing so much research.
8, 9, 10 right there. This right here is what? 11? Coming back up?
Yep, this is 11.
Yep. So before we go green here, I want to congratulate Mr. AJ on his position here at 3% TV. He is our social media manager. So if something happens with social media, don't yell at me. Go yell at AJ.
Hey, so far so good. I've actually had the title for like a week now. You just officially gave it to me today.
Yeah. So we're going to get ready to go green. Scott up front, Nick there in second. See
Here we
Freeze
go.
there. Bet, buddy. The turn 1-2 complex coming up. Will we get through turn 1 clean? 9 Indy cars out of turn 13.
Green flag, green flag.
Little stacked up right there before they even hit the line.
Yeah, that helped Scott there. He was able to get away with it.
No kidding. Everybody's holding their breath. So far, so good.
There it is. Well,
So far, so good.
Maybe there's a reason why Scott everybody, there's Carson. Everybody working their way through. Pretty clean start, I have to say.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Freeze trying to close in on the back. Here the games begin down the back straightaway. And what do you think? You think Freeze is going to be close enough when they get back around here to the oval portion?
Depends on how they get through these next 3 turns. I'm not thinking so, because as you saw, Freeze got a little sideways coming out of 10 there.
On the gas.
But here they go, back on the track.
Now does Freeze try to hit that push to pass? That's going to be the question.
You only have 10 of them, so I don't know if on the first lap is a good
he's
idea.
done used 2 of them. 2 of them in the first lap. Freeze really hammering that push to pass to stay with Scott. And there's the move into 1. Heartbreaking. Oh man. Wow.
Hey, how do you see on your end how many push to passes they've used?
On my driver bar. I got it.
That would do it.
Yep.
There you go.
Look at the crossover from Scott. Freeze. Man, oh man, Freeze able to get the lead. They're going to stay side by side. Look at this action, AJ, up front.
This is nice. And they're still side by side. Well, here, who's going to have the whole shot here? It looks like Freeze is going to be out front here.
Scott going to call this second. Let's check Scott's push pass. Now, Scott's got 9 of them left. Freeze.
So he's only used 1.
Yeah. Freeze has got 8. So that's... Oh, man, I don't know if I can...
See, we're talking about push to pass here. And one of my favorite broadcasters is one of the NASCAR broadcasters. I think it's MRN, Dave Moody. And he says push to pass is more like push to not be passed. Do you see it more to gain the advantage or hold on to your spot?
I think that's the problem, right? I don't think Scott used it enough. And there's the dive down just like Freeze did to Scott. And there's the dive for third from Joey. Joey again, better eating these push to passes up early.
Yeah, once you're out, you're out.
Yeah. So to your point, do they use them up early? Beaver still has all of them. He's trying to hang on to them. I just don't know what you do here at the Indy Road Course with them being this close. I don't know whether you try to save them or what you do. Because again, like you said, do you use it to defend if you're Freeze?
If it were me, I would have held on to them and only used them if I'm in territory to make a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I have any left at the end of the race, it's like if I have like 5 or 6 left with 5 to go, you're damn sure I'm pressing that for the whole front stretch for the rest of the way.
Here they go again. Scott trying to close in. Joey there in the 3rd, 4th. Nick Beaver. Gavin there in 5th, 6th. Carson.
These 2 leaders are checking out from the rest of the field.
Beaver under fire right now for 3rd from Joey and Gavin Roachane. And turn 1. These guys are staying for the most part here. Wow, great racing here. Cars right here working their way through the infield. Already 4 laps in the books here. Freeze under fire again from Scott. Scott not giving up on Freeze here. If Scott can stay with him, I think eventually he'll get the run. I think the car's too strong there, AJ. Remember, they qualified within a couple of thousand seconds of each other. surprised that they're staying here.
I think they're just in like a let's get away from the pack. There's no cautions, and then we'll deal it upon ourselves.
Yes, and unfortunately for them, it's not going to work that way next week when we come back to the oval portion. You know, again, down the front straightaway. Now everybody seems to be saving some push to pass. And we got a side-by-side battle into one. That's Gavin and Joey. Battling right now. Wow, those two tight into 1 and 2 complex.
Yeah, and it's bringing Carson right up to him, too.
So what are you thinking right now watching the first IndyCar race here?
I think a lot of strategy is really coming in as I'm watching Scott get closer to Seafreeze.
Yeah.
But you got to protect the tires. You don't want to be making more pit stops because you chewed up your tires.
Gavin made a boo-boo back into that, or the back end of that car. Stepped out a moment. Didn't work very well for just a moment.
And here they come into 11. It really looks like Scott has really knocked it back in a little bit.
It was pretty much just staying right there with him. And like you said, do they work together here and both of them try to pull away from the pack? Now
look how far out they are.
3.3 right now over Nick. We'll look at lap times this time by 1:14.730 and a 1:14.878. And then Nick down there at the 1:14.9. So top three in the 1:14s, and then beyond that, it's going to be a 1:16. That's pretty far off.
Yeah. And like you said before, there are no cautions.
Got that gap starting to grow here. Now we qualified what? A 1:13's the best lap of the race.
1:12.9.
Best lap of the race right now is a 1:14.148. So we are seeing some fall off. About 6 or 7 tenths out of the leaders right now. So does that mean do you short pit that?
I would see where you are on the track. If you're 5, 6, 7 seconds back, I would really consider it because maybe you could jump a couple seconds. But it's pretty much risk versus reward here.
And again, you talk about risk versus reward. If you're the 74, you're the points leader. You know, the best offense is a good defense. Sometimes with that, 3 wide behind them. Look at this battle for 5th right here. 3 wide. Joey right there. This ain't going to work, boys. You got to get it figured out in a hurry. And they do. One car going to miss the corner. That's Gavin. So he's going to have to whip a U-turn. He's going to whip a UE here. No traffic coming. He'll get back on track. But he's going to lose himself some good time.
He lost himself a lot of time there. You know, no damage on the car, so that's good, but you just sacrificed a lot of time with that mistake.
See, I can't call what I call that maneuver in real life on YouTube. I can't call it what I would call it. But
Papa Yui?
No, it's even worse.
Oh well, shit. Okay.
I'll tell you off air. Now everybody, oh look at that, Seafreeze, a little bit of wheel spin. That gap between him and Scott's opened up as well to about 1.3.
Yeah, it has.
So this is telling me tires are quick.
Or Scott's maybe protecting his a little bit. Who knows? We'll see in a couple laps if Seafreeze keeps pulling away or Scott starts wheeling them back in. We have a car on pit road.
One car down pit road. That's Middleton right there on pit road right now. He'll go up on the jack stands.
Looks like he's getting the full service done.
So he hits pit road right now. We're 8 of 4, 40 laps complete here from Elite Indy Road Course for the Road to Indy Racing League here on Extreme Sim TV. Here tonight, thank you guys for coming out here this evening. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Tuesday evening, we got more racing with NASCAR packing action tomorrow evening as well. And much, much more upcoming this week.
Very excited for this week of actions.
Yeah, And I tell you what, as they spread out across the infield, I will say, not only do we have Pro Tour trucks tonight, but we did agree to a kind of an extension of the deal for next season for them. So they'll be staying on board the Pro trucks. I'm hoping this league does this too as well. It's nice to have an IndyCar league, something different in AJ.
No, it is something different, and I very much thoroughly enjoy what I'm seeing right now. And, you know, Scott seems like a good dude. Everybody in the league seems like pretty awesome people.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. Awesome racing. You know, I'm really enjoying watching Seafreeze and Scott, and, you know, that three-wide battle we had like a lap and a half ago.
Yeah, that's going to be screenshot worthy after the race. So, right now, Carson right there in fourth. Look at Ken holding on. Started 8th here tonight. He's moved that car forward.
Ooh, Nick almost kicked out the back end right there.
He about went for a roundabout.
Oh boy, he came out of 7 like a bat out of hell and almost lost the rear end.
Well, you know, so it was a roundabout. He a roundabout, Rick.
But just look at what I was saying before. Seafreeze and Scott are staying at the same distance. Neither one's pulling on each other.
Yeah.
That sounded awful.
Well, you're right on the right on there, bro. Dead on there. So good news is it's going to take 38 laps or 38 minutes to complete this race. With the laps we got, and we have 28 minutes remaining in the session. So the good news is we're going to get the whole race in.
Well, that's always good.
Yes. So
You don't want it. You don't want something that has a lap count to come down to a time count.
Yeah, like you don't want to get halfway through the race and have to call it a race. NASCAR.
Oof. Well, since we're speaking of NASCAR, I would like to send my congratulations to Bubba Wallace on his win. That was an amazing move for him to get to the front. And congratulations on your first career win.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, Bubba Wallace. First of hopefully many more, sir.
Because they don't ask how many you have. Well, they ask how many you have. They don't ask how you got them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that it rained. It still pays the same.
Yep. Look at Joey Logano, Eric Amarola.
And all the IndyCar guys are watching this one. Rained away what? What's a rained away? You just put tires on these cars and go. I don't think rain tires at Talladega is a good idea. Just saying.
Nope, not at all. 200 miles an hour. Whoopsie.
Well, I tell you what, Scott is falling off the back pretty well. 4/10 last time by slower than Seafreeze. So I think as the tires wear here, Scott kind of losing that advantage a little bit.
You know, it's just me observing. I see Seafreeze having a better line throughout these turns than Scott does.
I think Scott's going to have to play a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, I don't know what their fuel window is with these Indy cars, but I would see if I were Scott, and depending on how many times you get on pit road this race, maybe once or twice, I would really consider, short pit a lap or two, because you'll make that back up in a heartbeat.
Now, you would have to make it to 20 to make it a one-stop race, right? So
yes,
you would have to be capable of doing that. Right now, we got 7 cars on the lead lap. Gavin there. Remember, Gavin's the one that lost that time down in England a few laps ago, where he had those good point there and turn around. 113 on the board. Nick Beaver right there in that third spot. Beaver trying to go get him. Freeze out front leading.
I just went through the whole field, and there's Scott kicking it sideways again, coming out of is it 8? No, 7. Kicking out of 7, and everybody is literally on point tonight. You might be a little slow, but everybody is a good line here, a good line there. Like, I'd love to see this get bunched up again after they've run so many laps.
Yeah, and that's the thing with road course racing. It does get spread apart here. Freeze, continuing to freeze them. Wait, sea freeze? That sounds like sea freeze. Bro, we got to get a costume for him.
Where'd you put my super suit? That was an Incredibles reference.
Yes, it was. There is Beaver right there, Carson. I am so happy co-hosting what it is.
Why? I'm not married to her. She just rips me a new one.
It's even worse, though, if you're not married to her, so that gives her even more leeway to burn you.
I love my wife the way she... I love my wife very much. My co-host is my co-host because of our back and forth.
Yep. Super out front. Well, you know, what's the problem you got there is the co-host and the wife are best friends, so when they double team you, you're just in a doghouse house.
I'm always in a world of hurt when they get together.
Yeah. 14 of 40 here tonight as we continue to run road to Indy racing news here tonight. Scott right there now 1.8 off of Mr. Superhero C3's out front. And I tell you what, the call he made to use those push to pass early to get around Scott, I think it paid off. He's got fresh air on that front wing, no aero push. Because that's one thing about these Indy cars, especially at Oakland, we'll see next week. Aero push is a real thing. Badly. There is, let's take a look at Carson started 5th up to 4th. Ken started 8th. He's the biggest mover right now. Up to 5th at the moment.
So, since we're looking at the field, Scott's the guy in second place. Matt is the co-host for...
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a long day, but I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun, and thank you everybody for watching.
That is great.
You are enjoying the Road to Indy series at Indianapolis as they venture through the road course. So, let me try this again. Matt, let's start with Joey and let's run through the field.
10-4. All right, here we go. As we're going to drop back, we'll go to first on back. There's Freeze leading the way. Nick Beaver sitting in 3rd. Carson there in 4th. Ken right now running 5th right at the moment. Mr. McComey there in 6th. 7th is Gavin Roach and Atticus right there. Joey is retired from that event.
And that run through the field was brought to you by Nerds Doing Nerd Things. We are a podcast of nerd things.
There we go. Good promotion, buddy.
Yeah, I've watched enough TV. Ooh, look at Seafreeze get kicked out on coming out of 7.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
A little bit. Got there as well, Nick Beaver, Carson. Trying to get back to him. But I tell you what, this is going to be a two-car race up front.
I don't know. Nick is right with Scott. If they can somehow draft on those 2 straightaways to see if they can get back up to Seafreeze.
Yeah, you're right. Ooh, Scott slowed through the oval portion a little bit there. A bit slower. Right now, 16 on the board, so we're coming up to this being a one-stop race here. If they can make it another 4-ish laps or so, 4.5 laps.
Yep.
But right now, see Freezy Man doing a great job to freeze out front right now. So, what is your thoughts here as we continue to get out there here at the Indy Road Course?
My thoughts are staying consistent is key, as it is with a lot of racing series, but especially on road courses. We're watching Seafreeze, Scott, Nick, Carson you know, as we're watching times, is they're fluctuating just a little bit either way in the plus or minus, but you need to stay consistent. Keep the car on the track. Keep yourself pointed in the right direction, and you'll end up with a good finish tonight.
Now, my question to you, sir. Now, they're not on top of each other like you would see in a NASCAR race, right? But do you think this is more stressful because there's so much strategy involved to try to make it up here? There we go.
Before I answer that, Nick is trying to pass Scott right now, going into one, which he has the position, and Scott's got the preferred line, and now Nick has the preferred line. A little bump there. Somebody lost a little part of a wing, I think.
It's back. It was going for a second. That's back. Do you have a wing missing on your end?
It looks like a little bit of the left side of Scott's wing.
Yep,
You good, man. That was not bad.
we've actually got radio comms on.
Yep, Scott's apologizing to Nick about the bump. Oh, yeah. And he goes wide. He definitely has damage.
Yeah, that's gonna hinder him. I think the viewers can hear him apologize as well. He actually had it on. Something he normally don't do. But I like
I'm going to be more than that on that lockup.
We're talking about locking the tires up over there.
He needs to hold on to it for another couple laps to make it just a one-stop race.
And go down there and get that wing replaced. Beaver, though, good job getting to second. Starting to pull away. Of course, Scott did his thing. Just a mistake there getting into the side of Beaver.
All right, you want to try your question again? Because I completely forgot, because we got some serious action there.
I have no idea what my question was, sir.
Yeah, I kind of figured, because I didn't either.
I mean, we'll circle back to it later. Whatever, I'll think of it, I promise. Oh yeah, is it more stressful the way this race is playing out and being a strategy race versus being packed up together?
Oh, absolutely. I 100% think it's more stressful on the driver, because outside of it just having strategy with it, you have to deal with, you know, all 13 turns. So, you know, racing in general is already stressful. You're trying to put out your best lap around other vehicles, and now you have 13 turns, and now you have to add in a pit strategy.
And they are doing just that. What a race we're seeing here.
Oh, this has been an awesome race. Seafreeze is completely checked out. Good for him. But keep an eye on Nick. Nick is pulled in. What, about a half a second within those last 2 laps?
Yeah, the Beaver eating to the breeze here. I wonder if he's eating through the ice that Breeze put down behind him. Okay. Everybody.
Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I've said plenty myself. But I don't want to count Scott out over here, because he's still within striking distance. He's still under 5 seconds. He does have a little bit of damage that he's going to need repaired, but he is holding his own right now.
So with 19 as far as these guys and what we've seen on the road course this season.
Indy Cargo Vroom Vroom.
That is maybe the most insightful comment I've heard in a while, buddy.
Yeah, I try to keep your wonderful channel easy to follow. But outside of that, there's a lot to go in with IndyCar. These cars are really easy to kick out, easy to spin out, and we're seeing it that, you know, a lot of these guys have their cars underneath them. You don't see a lot of spinning out. You see some kicking a little sideways, but immediate correction.
Now, right now, if you're Freeze, you're 3.4 up over Beaver. Any worries about Beaver making up that ground?
The only worry I would have if I was Seafreeze is if he catches you without using all those push to passes. Because that's pure car strength and driver. You know, he saved his tires and he got going. Because outside of him catching you, he still has all those push to passes, which, do me a favor, how many does Nick Beaver have?
All 10.
So, shit, he saved his tires and now he's coming.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. 3 seconds now to gap. 20 laps to go, so we're in our pit window. Border guys
Denim.
When do you pit? I think if I'm Nick, I'm coming in this time.
Honestly, he's already proven that he's fast on very old tires. I'd honestly see... I don't want to be the real first one down. I'd want to at least wait to 22, 23 to then pit.
What about Free?
Oh, absolutely. He's giving up way too much time. He's losing 0.3 a lap.
Oh, Beaver a little sideways. The Beaver about lost its tail there for a moment. Freeze leading right now. And here comes Freeze, the pit road. He's on the access road as we speak. How does Beaver respond? Beaver stays out. Freeze sideways but catches it. Here we go,
I hope he
Scott.
wasn't speeding.
That's
that would
him.
literally hand Nick or Scott the win.
Well, Scott on pit road as well. Carson there staying out. There is coming.
This is right here. This is where I would expect Nick to pit.
Yeah, Nick's got to pit this time. He's got to respond. He can't wait another lap. You absolutely cannot wait another lap if you're Nick. The Beaver out front here tonight. Well, folks, it has been a great evening so far with the road to Indy. And I tell you what, AJ, I know you're going to be with me later on tonight, but I think you're also going to be here tomorrow evening, right?
Yeah, I will be here tomorrow evening.
So AJ can come out and do some NASCAR stuff with me. That's what 18 to go this time, bud.
So as Seafreeze was leaving pit road, Nick was pretty much just getting to turn 8, and as you see, Nick is on pit road right now.
Nick may be a little bit hard on the pit road. I'm a little bit concerned about his speed as well getting down.
Yeah.
I mean, he got it locked up. Here comes more down pit road as we cycle through our pit stop here. And I do want to make a little tiny bit of an announcement as well as we got cars on pit road. If you're looking to have your league broadcasted and it happens to run on Saturday nights, there is an opening available for a limited period of time. Contact me for more details if you are interested.
Nick is out. Nick is out. He's got Seafreeze to his left, and it looks like for the time being, staying out that extra lap put him back about a half a second. So,
but he's
it's an overall net gain.
Yeah, it's a net gain
because you're closer.
And look at Freeze.
And he loops it. He loops it.
Oh
Nick
no!
looped it.
Nick,
and he's in the gravel trap. He's in the kitty litter.
He is over there with the kitties.
But he kept it going. Now he's back on the track.
Wow, unfortunate there. I was just getting ready to say Freeze kind of was hung up behind lap traffic for a moment. And it was going to be an opportunity. And then Beaver there went into the corner, lost the back of the car, ended up into the gravel trap, and hands it over. You can now start to pull away.
Hey, one of the AJ's keys to winning was be consistent and not spin out.
What? AJ has keys? Wow. Moving up in the world over.
We are on lap 24 right now as Seafreeze is entering turn 1.
Yeah. I hit the wrong button, folks. Don't ask.
Yeah, fine. It happens.
So we continue to run here. 17 to go. Everybody's still getting after it. And right now, Freeze leads the way. What do you say we do a little bit of crank it up here? IndyCar style at the road course.
Let's do it.
There we go, folks. We'll be back in a moment on the other side. Crank it up. this time by. We are back, folks, here at the Road to Indy Racing League, 14 to go. See Freeze, they're up front, 1.7 the gap right now for Mr. Freeze, man. Continuing to lead with just 14 laps to go at the Indy Road Course.
But Scott has really pulled it back in.
Yeah, he has. So Scott has closed that gap back down to 1.5. So tell everybody at home what your main broadcaster missed, as I had to step away a moment.
I missed that. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
You got me now, buddy?
Yeah, I got you now.
Alrighty, man. What all did I miss while I had to step away, buddy?
You didn't miss a whole lot. Scott is really bringing in Seafreeze. Like their gap is down to a second and a half, and unfortunately, when Nick spun, he was about 8 seconds back, and he's got it to about 7.5. So,
Yeah.
see if he can rebound off of that.
With 13 to go, he doesn't have a lot of time. Again, we come back to Indy next week for the oval portion of this season. That's going to be a lot of fun. Next next Monday evening. Jeez. Get it right, broadcaster, man. Out there in second, Seafreeze in the lead. So 12 laps to go. This time by up front, Seafreeze leads the way. Scott in second, Beaver in third, Carson Zabrat, I believe is how you pronounce that, in that the fourth spot at the moment. With 11 to go, road to Indy time. And again, folks, it's been a lot of fun already this season. I'm kind of sad we didn't get to call Coda last week. I think that would have been a good one.
I love Coda. I love Coda too.
And you know what's big for Scott? I know you don't know this, but if he can get a win here tonight, it's a win in his hometown. That would be huge for Mr. Scott.
Oh shoot!
And he is
maybe that's why he's bringing that gap in.
Well, he's a blinky.
But he might be having some networking problems after what I just saw.
Yeah, he's having some blinky, and he's only got one push to pass left, dude. So he is burnt. About 7 push to passes.
How much does Seafreeze have?
Well, we're about to find out. He's got 7. So,
oh boy.
Scott has used that Harry Potter magical wand a little too much, I think. And it's going to come back to bite him here in the later stages.
He hit the NOS a couple times, too many.
Yeah, he did. He hit the magic button. The magic go fast button. I need one of those magic go fast buttons.
But that's what I was saying earlier. You know, maintain your push to passes, because, you know, Scott can get there and Seafreeze can be like, push, I'm keeping my spot. All right, you're back on me, push, keeping my spot. You know, It's 7 versus 1.
Yeah, it's a uphill fight. Scott's really going to have to take advantage of the road course portion of the racetrack if he's going to get it done.
Yeah, from turns 1 to turn 7, and then from 9 to 11. That's where he needs to be golden.
And you can see it now. Seafreeze starting to pull away, and I bet you he used to put you up. He did. He used to push the pass right there and open that gap back up.
Yep.
And Scott just maybe up the creek without the proverbial paddle. Because it's just, how do you now 6 push to pass on Seafreeze? So now Seafreeze leaning into that push to pass to get back away a little bit. So we're 10 to go here tonight. Seafreeze leads. Scott running second. Nick the Man Beaver, he made a mistake, runs in third, but still good run for Nick as they continue to cycle their way through.
I mean, for what it looks like is with Seafreeze having all those push to passes, what does he have, 5 left?
Right now he's got 6 left right here to navigate.
6 left?
Yeah.
Scott's really looking for, he uses a push to pass and overshoots a turn.
Yeah. I mean, Scott did a good job to close in, but again, he's outnumbered push to pass wise at this point. And that's the chess match of IndyCar racing. And we talked about it at the beginning of the night, how you manage those. You know, maybe Scott would want some of those back. It was 1 or 2 that was used early in the race. But now, Seafreeze into turn 1 through the turn 1-2 complex. headed up to turn 3 with 9 laps to go. Here tonight, about 10 minutes of racing left, and he is in pretty good position to get the win at the Indy Road Course tonight there, Mr. Coppola.
Yeah, it's been a show of force with Seafreeze tonight.
Yeah, this is kind of, man, you're outgunned, you're outmanned. Let's put it to you this way. Scott has like a World War II tank, and Seafreeze has like 5 Abrams tanks. Yeah, he's outgunned right now. But you know, if you got the right strategy, you can outdo the power, but you gotta make it count through the technical sections.
Yeah.
And I'm just not seeing that right now.
You could have all that straightaway speed, but you need to maneuver the technical areas.
Yeah.
Which I honestly think that's what's helping Scott.
Yeah, and if you think back to this race, if we go back in the memory bank, hit our time machine, you know, if Scott hadn't got that front wing damage that costed him some time, would it made of a difference? You know, earlier in the race when Scott dinged that left front wing, he lost time there.
Oh, I think 100% it would. Because he went from being 2 seconds behind to 5, 6 seconds. So
Yeah.
you just reverse that time and you might see Scott in the lead.
Yeah.
With a couple extra pushes to pass.
Now it's down to this here as they come down. And you see that DRS sign, that's for the push to pass where you can activate. And there's Scott there as well, because there are certain portions, and I'm not really versed on IndyCar rules, but there are certain portions of the racetrack that you cannot use it, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
It's kind of like Formula.
yeah. And they don't run on ovals for obvious reasons.
No. It's only road courses.
iRacing should totally allow us to do it, though. So 7 laps to go here at the Indy Road Course. Gap 1.8 seconds. Everybody else spread apart. This is your closest battle on the racetrack. And as long as Seafreeze don't make a boo-boo and lock the brakes up or anything crazy, I think he may be well on his way to the win here at Indianapolis on the road course side.
Yeah, I would start protecting the lead. You know, you obviously have the better car. Just don't make a mistake. Let him make the mistake, and just keep her going.
Now, again, man, and we'll talk about this for a moment. Next week, we come right back here for the oval portion as well. Is any of these guys, can Seafreeze, if he gets the win tonight, can he do the sweep at Indy? You know, that would be huge for Seafreeze. What about Scott? Yeah, if he don't get there tonight, he's got another chance next week.
Yeah, I'd be interested if the same group of guys that are good at the road course are then good on the oval. I'd be curious. And
does the oval bring out a higher car count, I wonder, when we come back here for the oval race in Indianapolis?
That's a very good question.
You know, do we end up with 19, 20 Indy cars here next week? I know there's a lot of guys on my channel that watches IndyCar that would probably want to enter the oval race. So, you know, there's a big chance we could have double the field come next week. Right now, Scott,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me as well. As we come down to the final 5 laps of the night's event here for these guys in round number 4, round 5 coming up next week. Then the week after that, round 6, we're going to be back at a road course. So the majority of this week is ran on the road course. And right now, we continue to run right now, 5 laps to go. This time by Seafreeze, Scott, Nick Beaver. Man, I feel so bad for Nick ending up in the kitty litter earlier tonight. Cost him maybe a shot at the win.
Absolutely a shot to win. After that, going into those pit stops, if we had fantasy, he was going to be the driver I would pick.
Yeah, if we were gonna fantasize this thing, I'm right there with you. But right now, Freeze holding serve about 1.8. You see Scott holding on to that one that one push to pass just in case. Freeze has burned it down to 6 with 5 to go. He's got the upper hand push to pass wise. Even if Scott catches him with 2 to go, 1 to go, and coming on to that main straightaway, coming to the checkered, basically Freeze can just lay on push to passes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just zip right
He's got
away.
more push to pass than our laps anyway to start with.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, he played this race smart. In my opinion.
I 100% agree with you.
You know, and that's part of it. People may say, well, that's not racing. Yes, it is. That's strategy. That's how it works. You know, he put himself in the spot to capitalize and to pull away. Yeah, but right now, Carson's setting in fourth. Good run for him. What about Ken in fifth? Right now, Gavin back there in sixth. He's got a couple of push to pass. He may be able to get to Ken for that top 5 position here with just over 3 to go.
Which I will go take a look at.
You know, right now, Ken right there.
It does look like Ken is looks like he's pretty good through the technical
Yeah.
aspects.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. I had to mute my mic a second. Here we go. 3 to go. AJ will go laughing at me in the background going, heh.
I don't know what you're talking about. But Gavin's within a second, so that looks like a pretty cool battle to keep your eyes on with 3 to go. But it's been all sea freeze tonight, Matt. It's been nothing but sea freeze with a little bit of Scott and a hard charging Nick.
Yeah, it's been a freeze show here. Scott still within 1.6, but that's not going to be enough, unfortunately. You know.
I think Freeze puts a nice freeze zone all over Indy tonight.
Oh, exactly. And they did a wonderful job. If you look right now, there's Scott. Freeze up in front of him. Nothing he can really do about it. As long as Freeze don't lock the tires up or anything crazy. And I have no reason to think he will at this point. He's been beautiful all night long. So 2 laps to go when Freeze comes back around to get the white flag in the Road to Indy Racing League here on Extreme Simmer TV. And you see it right now. Scott in second, Nick in third, Carson in fourth. And if I'm a betting man, that's pretty much going to be your running order, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of where I was going with that. You might see Gavin overtake Ken, but there's been a little more separation between Ken and Gavin.
Yeah, it's about 1.6 right now as well. So 2 to
But
go.
for all you viewers, if you are enjoying what you are seeing, hearing, please stick around to Extreme Sim TV for our next show, which is Trophy Trucks.
Yep.
Matt, give a little more details.
Pony Express Pro 4 off-road trucks heads to Wild Horse Raceway. I believe that is the right one we're going to. Going to be a great one here tonight. Off-road big jumps kicking off at 9:45 Eastern, so not too far away. So please stick around if you want to see me and AJ lose our stuff with that, because last week we literally had a battle for position with a guy running in reverse.
Yeah, that's how good these races are, so please stick around. When this race goes final, we do our interviews.
And
Go
then,
back to the main page of Extreme Sim TV and get set up for the Pony Express race. We are coming to 1 to go.
Bob the Flagman going to give him 1 to go this time by. Freeze 1.3 with 3 push to passes. So he's still got more than Scott does with 1 to go. Scott now out of push to pass. He tried his last ditch effort of hitting that push to pass to get the Freeze. As long as Freeze can make it through the 1-2, headed for 3 now. Just keep that car under you all the way to 6 through this technical section 4, coming off of turn 4, headed to 5 right now. And coming around turn 6, and I think he's going to be pretty well all right coming back into 7. Back on the back straightaway, headed for turn 8. 1.7 seconds to gap. What do you think, man? Do you think there's anything anybody else can do here?
If he keeps on the track, there's nothing anybody else can do.
Yeah,
it's his.
Yeah, it's his. Here we go. Headed through turn number 11 up to 12 and 13 to bring it home. Freeze through 12. Headed for 13.
Anybody else feel a chill in the air?
Yeah, it's getting awful cold in here. Because here comes the Freeze off of turn number 4. Winter is here. Here is the Freeze. Great job, C Freeze. Checkered flag. Great job for Freeze. I felt like I was calling Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Oh, what a great deal for Freeze.
That was an amazing race. That was an outstanding race by all involved.
Yeah, it was. So Freeze got it done here tonight in the Road to Indy Racing League of Indianapolis. Great job for Freeze, man. Now let's take a look here at your unofficial results here for another great race up for you guys. Here we go. We'll take a look as everybody pulls
Great
up.
drive, Ken. That was a lot of fun, man. Good job.
Starting to celebrate here. You hear them coming over.
Nice drive to the end there. I thought you were going to get me.
Yep. There we go. So everybody
My fingers were crossed.
giving him a big heads up. We're going to get ready to go to post race.
I was playing around with the bars for like the last 4 or 5 laps trying
So
to find
stick
something
around
that
for
felt good.
post race here in one moment. Folks back here, sitting here with Mr. Scott here. Scott, man, great run here tonight. You came home in second. You kind of run out of push to passes at the end there, bud.
Yeah, I was trying to save him until I realized I wasn't catching him no more. Started burning through him, still wasn't catching him. So he had some good pace tonight.
Well,
He gave
man,
me that little tap at the right before we went green. I think he let me know what was up. Might have damaged my front wing a little bit, I think.
10-4, man. Well, I tell you what, it's your hometown of Indianapolis, the namesake of the league. How do you feel about your run on the road headed to the oval race next week?
Yeah, I'll take it. We stayed up in the podium, and then try to get the one at the oval next week. Be cool.
Well, Scott, you did an amazing job, buddy, getting a podium here tonight. We'll come back next week for the oval, man. Anybody you'd like to thank before I let you go?
You guys for calling it, and Freeze, actually, the guy that beat me. He's done a lot this week, getting us some more people to race. So hopefully we'll keep getting bigger numbers as these things go. I was hoping for a few more tonight, but we'll get there.
Well, man, again, congratulations on a great run tonight, Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
All right, AJ. Well, unfortunately, we don't have the winner in here, and me and you got to get ready to go call some off-road trucks.
Yeah, let's go do it. Congratulations to the Seafreeze and Scott for first and second. Nick on his third. And amazing race, guys.
Yeah, it was a great race. Unfortunately, Nick made that mistake going into the kitty litter. Cost him maybe a win here tonight, but he'll get to go at it again next week. We'll be back next week for round number 5, the Indy Oval portion here for the Road to Indy Racing League. This has been Matt with Extreme Sim TV and AJ Capola as we get ready to sign off. We're going to go dirt racing in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Just back out to the home page and click on the next one and come join us for some off-road dirt racing, guys. We'll see you in about